Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, for being with Urdu News. You
Good.
always talk about you have done so many things first time in your life. And this is for the first time we are having an opportunity to interview the mayor of the city of New York. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you, and it's good to speak with you.
And Mr. Mayor, my first question is in a historic perspective. And question is, as the 110th mayor of the city of New York and the second black mayor after David Dinkins, why do you think it took a considerable amount of time for a black individual to assume the role of mayor in the city, and what would it mean to the communities of color and immigrant communities, sir?
I think that there has had to be a real change in of mindset, and a candidate had to come around to speak about those issues that really were concerning for everyday New Yorkers, and do it in a way where I like to use the term, I'm not new to this, but I'm true to this. Of my relationship in many of the emerging immigrant communities plays such an important role. I walked through the Pakistani community, the Yemen community, the uh, Nepali community, African American, Caribbean diaspora, African indigenous people. And so I knew I had the right message, public safety,
Mhm.
and I was willing to go into every community to deliver that message. And that was clear. That was the perfect combination that was needed to stop the 30-year drought of not having a mayor of color. And now that I was able to accomplish that, I think it opens the doors to so many communities. I wouldn't be surprised if we won't see in the near future a Pakistani mayor or mayor from one of the other communities.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Migrant crisis in the city is not only the talk of the town in New York City, but it is a talk of the town almost in every town in US. And people want to know, can you explain in very simple terms what this crisis is and what is your short and long-term plans to deal with this challenge, sir?
It's a real concern. It's a concern across the entire country, particularly in big cities like Chicago, Houston, Los Angeles, New York, Washington, all of these cities, including the border cities, El Paso, Brownsville. It is wrong for these cities to take upon this weight. We had over 170,000 migrants and asylum seekers that have gone through our care. We still have 66,000, over 66,000 that are there. Over 60% we were able to get self-sustaining because of the right program. And as of February 4th, when you add the 66,000 that we have with the everyday approximately 60,000, 50 something thousand of everyday New Yorkers, you see how dire this is.
Hmm.
Almost 121,000 people that we have to provide all of their basic needs. And it is extremely costly for New Yorkers in all of the cities, but it also strains our infrastructure, the delivery of service to longtime New Yorkers. So we believe this is wrong for migrants, and this is also wrong for longtime New Yorkers. And to call on the federal government to do its job is not being anti-immigrant. In fact, it's being pro-immigrant because all of the immigrant groups came here and they had one thing that they were capable of doing, and that was to have the right to work. I think when you give people the right to work, you give them the first opportunity to pursue the American dream.
Thank you. And Mr. Mayor, you may remember when during your mayoral campaign, South Asian American contractors met you in Queens, and they expressed their concerns about the citations and summons by the Department of Buildings. So they want to know also, uh, do you have any plans, if they do have any genuine concerns, how to address those concerns, Mr. Mayor?
And that was a great meeting. I remember that meeting, and I'm very clear. that one, our number one concern is safety. We just saw the other day that a construction worker lost his life due to a building collapse on a construction site. It is important that we are safe. And with being safe, we cannot slow down the process. I made it clear to my Commissioner of Department of Building, Jimmy Otto, that we would be expeditious in how we handle the claims and reports and not be punitive if giving out summonses unwarrantedly. And we've shown the decrease in the number of stop work orders, the decrease in the number of times that people have been dealing with just a heavy-handed approach. So we won't let people cut corners because safety is first, but we're not going to allow our agencies to hold people up for building new buildings throughout our city on every street corner where possible.
Thank you. And Mr. Mayor, with New York City being a city of immigrants and their population and needs continually growing, can you outline key initiatives you have implemented during your 2 years in office for these communities, highlighting any distinctive approaches not undertaken by your predecessor?
Well, what I find often when I'm asked that question, uh, my immigrant communities, when you ask, what do they want, what initiatives, it's the same as everyday New Yorker. They
Mhm.
want to be safe, and that's what we provided with crime being down. They want to have an opportunity to employment. We've shown that with jobs are up, the most private sector jobs in the history of the city, and they want to educate their children. And we're doing just that. We have outpaced the state in reading and math, and our children are doing extremely better than other state municipalities in the state. And so the things that immigrants want are the same things that everyday New Yorkers want. But they also want to be free from any form of harassment as they carry out their lives. And that is what we have done with the police department fighting against any form of hate crime. But they want to see themselves in government. And I've been intentional. We have the first East Indian to be a deputy mayor, first Trinidadian to be a deputy mayor, the first uh, uh, person from Dominican Republic to be a deputy mayor. Even when you think about how we're doing media outreach, what Jose has done, who's in charge of my ethnic media, the first office of its kind. And so inclusiveness, safety, opportunities is what we have accomplished. And I think that's what all of our immigrants want. All they want is an opportunity to appreciate the American dream, and we're presenting that opportunity.
Thank you. And Mr. Mayor, immigrant communities, like other New Yorkers, they are very concerned about illegal marijuana shops and the activities taking in the shadows. So, what is your plans to tackle these, illegal activities for the well-being of the New Yorkers?
Such an important issue. We're all tired of the marijuana shops that are uh, opening throughout our entire city and state, mind you. I hear this from state uh, uh, mayors and state county executives. They too share our concern. And so we partnered with Senator Leroy Comrie and Assemblywoman Jennifer Rajkumar as we have combined our efforts with a piece of legislation that is going to give enforcement powers to the city. The governor realized this is important, and if we could have the proper enforcement power, we will close down these illegal shops. Right now, that power does not exist. We need the authority to go in and inspect these shops as needed. And with that level of enforcement, I believe we'll make a major dent and close down many, if not all, these shops in a 30-day period.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, my last question. The other day you share a very exciting news about FIFA World Cup final. Do you have any update for the FIFA World Cup fans?
Oh, we're excited. I know that, many of my brothers and sisters from Pakistan and other, countries, South Central America, European countries.
Right.
They are excited about, soccer. And so we are going to have the World Cup here. Not only are we going to have the 8 games, we're going to have the final. That is just huge. Over 2 billion people, we believe, will watch the finals. 1 million people will come here and not only go to the games, but some won't go to the games, but they will spend money in this region. We think we're going to have $2 billion in economic revenue, 14,000 jobs. This is a really exciting time for us. And, this is going to place us on the world stage to show people that New York is back and is thriving. We know how to put on big events, and we're looking forward to putting this one on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, and we look forward to talk to you again, sir.
Thank you. Take care.
You too, sir. Thank you.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.